What up? What up? What up? I'm Bobbito Garcia, aka Cool Bob Love, and thank you for coming out. And this is incredible. I didn't know there was another tier of people up there. Hi, party people up top. All right. So do you guys have another mic, or we're just gonna go to questions? Is there a mic in the crowd, or where is it? Oh, there you go. Let's give it up. Let's give it up for Enya. Enya. Enyo. Yeah. And let's give it up, yo, for real, like Giant Step, Samsung, A73 NYC. Give it up, yo. A37, yeah. Phenomenal, yo, phenomenal. This is a gorgeous space. We're gonna do a screening here once a week. Yo, my man, you okay up there? We saw you asleep during the film. You. Yeah,
you. I got a picture of you sleeping. He's gonna put it on social media, but we figured it wasn't a good look for any of us.
You gotta let Big Graveyard know about him. So, any questions? Wait, you know what, before we do questions, my apologies. Let me say this before anyone leaves, just in case this gets long and uninteresting. Our film is available for download, and a DVD is available, all at stretchofbobbito.com, and we have merchandise, t-shirts, theatrical poster, baseball caps, a lot of stuff, a lot of fun stuff. This is an independently produced and distributed project, just as you would imagine, in line with what our show represented in the 90s. So we're grateful for all of you to be here, and we hope that you tell as many people as possible about the film, because it's on iTunes. We're about to have a network premiere that I can't share yet, but it's pretty big. And we have a global online platform that's going to bring us to the biggest audience that we could ever imagine for what we represent. So, good things to come, and please help us support that. Yeah. Okay, questions. Oh, they had a question up here. Enyo, you wanna run over there, or should we have? Why don't we have people come to the bottom of the stairs? Oh, there's someone there too. What is your name?
Edwin.
That's Edwin.
All right.
Quick question. I didn't see any females. Who came up to the studio? Who was a female rapper in the day? I didn't see anybody.
Anyone want to answer her question? Jean Grey was in the film.
No, but who else? But like, was it
Yeah, no, sure.
Bahamadia and Tice, Yo-Yo, Lauryn Hill.
Jazzy Joyce, who was a phenomenal DJ and a personal friend of ours. Ange 13, Heather B, Rod Digger. Who else?
Ray.
Invincible was there. Invincible was up there with Eminem, actually. In fact, actually, Paula Perry, yep. Yeah. Jean Grey, when she was What with a group called Natural Resource. So plenty of women contributed and were part of the show. As well as the Mimi Valdez's and the Zuhara Khaldoons, who were, right there with us every step of the way to support us. Okay, another question? Should we go to the other side of the room? I want Enyo's side of the room to speak. Okay.
Hey, what's going on, Bobbito?
My brother, peace, man.
Stretch, everything good?
Yeah, don't start no trouble, man. We already had the,
You already know.
the drama back then.
Okay, cool. All right. You're talking about coming back to the radio, right? Talking about coming back to the radio.
Closed circuit radio, just in specific buildings.
Now you broke a lot of artists, back in the day and everything. Is there any artist right now that's unsigned that you would love to have as your first guest on your show?
I mean, if we do get back on the air, and it's in negotiations for months now with a couple of platforms. Understand that we kind of crowned hip-hop radio in the 90s. That's not the vision of what we will be doing now. So when you say unsigned artists, you know, I could name probably 10 artists that I probably can't name right now because I'm under pressure, but it would be like soul artists and Afrobeat artists and Latin jazz artists and on and hip-hop artists as well, you know. So the palette will be pretty wide when we get back on air. Did you have an answer, Ben?
Just talk radio.
There's an artist named Farrah Burns. You all know her? Yeah. She is nasty, yo. Farrah Burns, be on the lookout for her. She rhymes. Yeah, she rhymes. She is nice. Like, she is official, like, she would have came up to the show and killed us. Yeah, she's nice. Be on the lookout for her. Farrah Burns. Okay. Other side of the room. Can we get questions from over there? Are you onto it, Edwin? Go. Go. Keep on going all the way to that door. There's a question on 14th Street.
How's it going, fellas? I know this question's really for Stretch. You said something in the movie about, like, there was a point when you lost the, maybe not necessarily the love, but you kind of couldn't find the beats you were looking for anymore, that what you were passionate about. It's kind of a two-part question. When about was that? Because there was a big change from like the early 90s, mid-90s to like end of the 90s, 2000s. And what in particular did you feel like the beats were like becoming the new kind of scene of hip-hop? The music that you kind of weren't necessarily into anymore?
Yeah, I think, you know, there's always been great music, always been great hip-hop. For me, I think being on the radio from 90 to 95 and beyond was a gift and a curse, because, you know,
I didn't know we were up there. That's crazy.
Because, I mean, we were on the radio at a time when, you know, all these phenomenal artists were really doing their best work. And, you know, starting in like 96, 97, I felt like music just wasn't as compelling as it had been in the early 90s. So I think I'd be amiss to say that there weren't good records and the music wasn't good. I think there probably was good stuff. I just, compared to the way the music made me feel in the late 80s and the early 90s, it just wasn't the same. And doing a show that was, you know, we weren't getting paid. It was from 1 to 5 in the morning. When I was 20 years old, doing a show all night long was easy. But by the time I was 26, that was really difficult. And I had to travel all the way uptown, self-produced. I had to, you know, we had to bring turntables, mixers, and, you know, all the responsibilities that we have with running a radio station without a producer, without security, and it just sort of became, I think that influenced how I looked at the music. So it really wasn't that the music wasn't there, it just was that I think I was getting tired of it.
Okay, let's go back to this side. Enyo, can you see if there's anyone up on this? Oh, there's someone up there. Yeah, can you get to them? We're going to patiently wait. We want to shout out Mariah. You still here? Yeah, there she goes. Mariah Ramet was one of our editors, and she was the editor who brought this film home under pressure with a timeline that was ridiculous. And Mariah, much love for staying up until 1 a.m. many consecutive nights. We were trying to beat each other, like, in the edit room, like, okay, I'm gonna go home late. She's like, nah, I'm gonna go home late. And the film would not have premiered at Central Park Summer Stage if it wasn't for Mariah Real Talk, so much props. Okay, question.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
What's up?
Great. My question, considering we're in the house of Samsung right now, there's so much great stuff happening with technology. Hip-hop has always been about kind of making the most out of what you have. You know, I want to kind of a question for the up-and-coming DJs. What do you guys feel in terms of technology and how it's influenced hip hop in 2016. What do you feel are the forms of technology that you feel are most complement the art form? And in terms of the technology, what do you feel might be taking away from the creativity and the hard work that's required to really make something great?
Great question. Jay Rawls, you want to answer that? This is Jay Rawls, everybody. Let's give him a nice round of applause.
Now, that's probably one of the best questions ever. I mean,
Thank you.
really, when you're talking about the art form, when you're a DJ, part of DJing is hearing the music and not looking at the music. Do you see what, you know what I mean? Like when you're DJing, you're not counting the beats. You're not, I'm sorry, you're counting the beats. You're not able to look on the computer screen. I see a lot of DJs now, we cheat. I cheat too. We cheat now because we can see when the snare is going to hit and that kind of thing instead of blending and getting that feeling. So I think Serato takes away from that, but it's nice not carrying them damn crates anymore. So I like Serato for that, because them crates, whew.
Okay, let's go back to this side. Edwin, it's on you. You choose. Go to Keisha. Hi, Keisha. How you doing?
Hey, Bob. How are
Keisha
you?
has a food show.
Thank you, Bob. I love you.
Yeah, much love, yo. And I'm looking forward to seeing it.
So this is my hip hop vortex. When people ask me what's your favorite music, this is my vortex, and it centers around you guys. So I really love you and appreciate you. And I also want to shout out Sophia Chang, my sensei, my hip hop sensei. Stretch. Sophia dragged me to not dragged me, helmed me to
I love you guys.
Yes, helmed me to many of your parties. And I want to know how that, directing a party and moving people in a crowd fed the show and maybe vice versa.
That's a great question.
Yeah, actually, in an earlier cut of the film, that was addressed, and it didn't make the final cut, but
It's Mariah's fault.
for me, what I did in the club was very different from what I did on the radio. And when we started doing the radio, I was already a club DJ. And in fact, Thursday nights is a really important club night if you're a working DJ. And by committing to a weekly Thursday radio show, that really affected my bank account through the 90s. And but happy that I did that. So in the club, first of all, my musical tastes are expansive. So I would play, like a traditional New York club DJ in the late 80s and early 90s. I played everything. But when we started the show, it was really, we had this vision to do a really pure hip hop show that was really a reflection of our personal tastes, and that was it. And you're on the radio, and you're not looking at a crowd of people dancing. You're not concerned about keeping people moving. It's a totally different experience. Of course, when in the club, you're building a crowd up to that 2:30, euphoria, and then you're gonna bring them down to when it's time to leave. And none of those concerns were valid on the radio. So for me, it was a lot of work preparing for a radio show, because all week I'm in the clubs, and I've got to be concerned with making sure I've got all the music that the club crowd wants to hear, and then Thursday night comes around, and I've got to work towards getting all that new music for that specific purist connoisseur hip hop crowd that's going to be committing to spending the night with us all night, which is a big deal. So it's two very, very different things, and it required a lot of work. Actually, it was frustrating, and in a way, I kind of admired other DJs who did the same thing on the club as they did on the radio. But we really wanted to make the radio something unique and something that wasn't going to be duplicated on in the clubs or elsewhere. You had to stay up and listen to us every week, and that was that.
What's going on, guys? Hip hop veterans, Stretch and Bobbito, respect. Grew up through you guys and everything.
Thank you.
I'm the former promotions director for Murder Inc. and the current marketing and promotions director for Chris Scotty's new venture called Adventures Music. It's for the independent artists. Because what we feel is that while Chris Gotti and his brother Irv started this new digital distribution format, is because it's like commercial money came into the hip hop culture and they started dictating what they wanted to hear. And most of the rappers been moving to that. There's a lot of independent artists out there that's making original music, good music, and they can't get the day of light to be heard or seen. So he created this. But what I want to ask you, Chris felt that the reason why they came up with this digital distribution is because the existence of the major labels who now monopolize the game is going to be extinct in the next 3 to 5 years. Do you agree? Because when you guys was around, that was the game.
I don't know, if you look at Billboard or radio playlists, it's pretty much major labels, so I think the major labels figured out, I mean, they've got a lot of money and power, and I don't think they're trying to, loosen their grip, and they've, what's the word? They've pivoted.
But more in people of our generation, because I came up with you guys and all the rappers you had on there, a lot of people now turn to alternative things on radio. They don't just stay listening to Hot 97 or Power because we're in New York, because you hear the same songs every 20 minutes. When you walk in the street or you're looking online and listening to stuff, you're hearing guys with good music who can't be heard on these stations.
Sure. Well, the blessing about the internet and all these other outlets is that if you're curious, you can find great music. You don't have to listen to the same, major label controlled playlists every day. But at the same time, I think most people still do. I'm not defending it. I think that's just the reality. I hope, whenever the industry gets shaken up, it's a good thing for music. So we'll see.
All right, people are starting to leave, so, hey, he's ready to go to sleep, look at him. Give him some popcorn or something. Right. 2 more questions, Morris? Thank you, man, you're great. Wait, but hold on. Your side is just dominating the questions. We want to go back to this. Enyo, you have anybody that has a question? Okay. Let Enyo know. She's running things.
Hi guys. I grew up with you. I still have Nike boxes and 5411 boxes full of your tapes.
Word.
Yeah, 5411s. But I have a question. What do you think of the state of hip hop today? We lost Sean P, lost Fife in the last 8 months, 2 years. So what do you think of what's happening now? Honest answer.
We generally preface these Q&As by saying we don't want to be asked about radio or hip hop in 2016. We forgot to do that. Honestly, we're not even equipped to answer that question. I would say that when in the 80s and 90s, I was compelled to listen to hip hop. I couldn't help it. It was like eating or breathing. And that's not the case now. I don't know if that's a function of growing older, or if it's a function of the music changing. I don't know, but we're just not equipped to even answer that question. I mean, beyond saying that we're not really experts on contemporary hip hop.
I would say rest in peace to the 2 people that you mentioned. They were friends of ours, and as well as Pumpkinhead, and a whole list of people. I mean, there was one, I forgot what screen it was, when Raider was a friend of mine. He's not with us anymore, and L, and all the people we mentioned in the film. So it's a part of life, and it's ever changing. We're happy that we experienced a phenomenal era of music, and we're not stuck in the past. We move forward constantly. And as far as what's going on in hip hop today, I think there'll be other people, probably yourself, might be able to tell us more what's going on. So, okay, so I think we're down to one last question. Who's it gonna be?
The middle.
Oh, Fiona or Misbehavior? Fiona? Fiona had a lot of experience with college radio, so. Yes.
Guru did come up. That was after I had stopped appearing on the radio. But before that, I would see Guru in clubs a lot, having a really good time. And I was always like, dude, Gangstar is such a big part of the 90s fabric of hip hop, and Premier has always been a really good friend of ours, and I just thought it was kind of funny that here was, you know, this group who we support passionately, and not just them, but all the Gangstar Foundation, you know, artists.
J. Rue, Group Home, on and on.
And so one night I saw him at Coney Island High, and then the next night I got on the air, and I can't even, I said something about Guru that was maybe a little inappropriate, and it got back to him, but it was addressing the fact that I see him in clubs all the time, and he can't come up to the show. He was quite salty with me. You want to, can I say what? Yeah. This is so bad. I mean, I don't say this with an iota of pride, but I call him a club rat. I love Guru. That's my man. But I was trying to be provocative, and I got his attention, and he came up, you know, maybe 5 years later.
I was there. I continued doing the show after me and Stretch split with Lord Sear, and Guru came up, you know, crushed it. You know, the night he was there was with Piacon, who was another indie artist who put out a 12-inch and stuff. So it was good.
I didn't know that Guru had come up until making this documentary.
Yeah.
Where was that night?
Is that Maggie Trackers? That's Maggie. Stand up, please. Please. Maggie Trackers contributed about, I don't know, 10 or 15 or maybe 5, I don't know. But phenomenal photos of Big Pun and Rocksteady and beyond to our film. So please give her a round of applause. And shout out to all of you who have seen this film multiple times. There's someone in here that told me earlier that they watched it 5 times on download.
Who's already seen the film before tonight?
Wow. Dope.
Nice.
Nice. Keep on coming back. Yeah. All right. I think that's it. No? What's the... Are you guys into more questions? Huh? No, people want to leave.
One last question.
Wait, everybody look at that row that's leaving. Okay, until you leave, we won't continue. Okay, so go ahead. All right, good night. Thanks for coming. Cool. What's love? All right, they're almost out of here. We can proceed. All right. So we're going with another question? Okay, good.
Thank you.
She really wants to ask a question. No, but good. You have the mic, and then when you're done, you pass it to her.
My older brother, he gave me tapes and your music. I used to always laugh, aside of like loving the music. What was your maybe funny story or the time that you really enjoyed with another artist?
It's in the film.
I know those, obviously, but there's any ones that maybe are not in the film that stand out to you?
Yep, there's deleted scenes on the DVD. Buy the DVD. Okay, she had a comment, quick.
Well, I'm just very thankful to be here. I grew up on you guys. I ran into you by the bathroom.
Yep.
And I told you I would. And I gave him my whole like 20 minutes. He was like, can I go? Anyway, my point is that I moved from Colombia in 1989, barely spoke English, and I fell in love with your show. Every Thursday night, I was there. Newark, New Jersey, that's where I'm from. I rep Queens now. Brick City. But anyway, so my point is that I fell in love with hip-hop back then. Once I learned what it meant, I really fell in love. And then in 1996, in one of your sets at the Buddha Bar,
Do not clap for the Buddha Bar. That place was horrible.
Wait.
Horrible.
Wait, you gotta let me finish because 20 years later, my husband and I, who met at the Buddha Bar, at your set, we're here. And you were the DJ that changed my life.
Buddha Bar, woo!
We gotta find out.
Nasty.
What record were you playing when he went up to her, or when she went up to him? Acanelli. So that, we're gonna, Morris, one more? Morris, you're so kind.
One more. You remember Stretch playing Big Mama thing like 1,000 times every time I went to see him around 96? He produced it, right?
Yeah.
It's happened. I guess like one of the main questions is, sorry, Stretch. One of the, we saw so many MCs in the movie, but who are some of the ones, or maybe the one, that you guys never got up to the studio that you really, really want?
There were artists that were already established in the 80s that we would have loved to have, like Rakim, Run DMC, LL. But in terms of artists that were in
Chuck D.
Chuck D.
Sure.
Chuck D. never came. We were friends too. I worked at Def Jam for 4 years, and he was a big supporter of our show. That he's the one that told Busta Rhymes to come up. In fact, he told Busta Rhymes, this didn't make the film. He told Busta, like, you're not official until you go to Stretch and Bob's film. Chuck D said that.
Our film came out years later.
Yeah.
Radio show.
He gave Busta his name. Chuck gave Busta his name.
That's in the deleted scenes in the DVD as well.
There you go.
Actually,
this is
leaders of the new school, we learned this interviewing Busta. This was amazing. They had a meeting with leaders before they were leaders, and they had a bunch of names on the board. Young black teenagers, leaders of the new school. And we'll take that one.
Crazy.
Crazy beat.
All right. So thank you so much, everybody. We have a short stack of stickers, so if you want to come up and take one, you're more than welcome. Shut your